Hi, guys. Welcome to our second episode of the Empower Hour. Welcome. Welcome. We're excited to have another discussion with me and my three other friends. And my name is Kamber Ali, and I'll let everybody introduce themselves.
I'm Marlene Rodriguez.
Yo, it's Shaban Azar right here.
Hamad.
All right.
I mean,
That was very
come on. Hamad Qureshi. I make jokes and people uncomfortable, but sure.
So guys, we're just going to basically talk about how life has changed so much since basically we're in our ages of 18 to 22 to post graduation. Essentially, looking back at life, it feels like it was a while ago. It was a while ago.
What, 2017 I graduated.
Yeah.
Around then.
What year?
2017. I think you were the same year.
High school 2017,
Yeah.
but then college was I think 2 years ago now.
No,
I know. We all graduated here, right? We all have.
Yeah, I graduated in 22.
22.
But with masters, undergrad was 2020. It's been a while.
Wait, so I mean everyone. I graduated from UTD. So comment. Which university is
University of
from?
Tampa, Florida.
University of Tampa.
Yeah.
It sounds like an online university, bro.
Probably was. It probably was.
How is it going on these days?
Yeah, I saw that meme. Did you guys see that meme when you put so much effort in your job application and someone, a psychiatrist from Florida, she throws out your CV because she went to a no-name school. It's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Hey,
But
they're
not that.
very prominent these days. But whatever to get you graduated, right?
I'd agree,
Right?
yeah.
You see that degree, and then rest is on you. However you figure that out.
We've been kind of all graduated now for a couple of years now. How has life been for you? I know for me, it was not what I expected. You know, when you're during school, you have this whole persona about what life's gonna be after graduation, and you're just you have all these things that you have in mind. Oh, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna be doing this and that, and then it's for me it was entirely the opposite. Like, what about you guys?
I think for me, I'm still kind of in school, finishing up because I don't know, I guess I took a different route with COVID, especially that kind of messed up a lot of stuff in my case. So I was just kind of ooh, what am I gonna do next? Do I keep working? As soon as I get out of here, what am I gonna do? Super stressed out because then it's the whole, what's next? And getting scared and I don't know, just being kind of hard on myself. I would say that's probably the main thing that happened whenever I was getting or in the process of getting out. Right now I'm just kind of found my place, but it's just kind of took me a while to get there for sure.
It takes some time, especially because I went to school in Florida, and by the time I graduated, I knew a bunch of people, so it was good. And plus, it's Florida. I mean, it's fun anyways. More things to do in Dallas.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely different when you're in school, because then you know that there is something that you are doing, and then you are hoping that by the end of it there is light at the end of the tunnel. But then you get to the end of the tunnel, you're like, oh wait, I gotta find my light now.
Hey,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
strong. Yeah, that's strong.
See, I don't know how many of y'all though are first generation. Are y'all first generation, or has y'all's parents first generation that you guys are graduated from high school and everything? Okay, because at least for me, it was super scary even to getting out of high school and even going into college. As far as I'm going, I'm the only one that's there, and it really is just kind of at least my parents are just oh, she's in school, but I'm just what am I doing? That was literally the fear for many years, and I was just what am I doing? And I'm already into it, so it's just kind of I should finish because I finished it, but it's I felt honestly rushed into it because you have to do something, because whenever I graduated from high school and going into college, university, I remember my mom sat down with me to talk to me okay, are you gonna be a career person, or are you gonna be a mother? And she straight up told me, oh, at 23 I had you. So I was
Normally girls do have to kind of choose that after graduation,
yeah,
right?
it's very hard and it's stressful, obviously, for that reason, because you're just I was do I want to be doing this? Do I actually want to? And it's it fluctuated so much, and I was scared, honestly. Now I'm a kind of a bit of a better place, but
I feel like that's normal because I remember when I graduated at 22.
It's young, bro, for a guy.
Yeah, but I feel
How'd you do that?
What does that mean for a
Bro,
guy? Bro,
22 is a girl's graduation.
yeah, it's the ladies. I'm not out yet, but
But I felt dang, society expects you to have your life figured out at 22. I feel
Yeah.
at 22, I was kind of okay, I'm somewhat of an age to understand where I'm going, but this is where you're supposed to, okay, graduate with a degree, get a corporate job or get a whatever, or go on to your next master's or like specialize in law or medicine or something and do more schooling, but then become full adulthood.
Yeah.
At 22,
Have it
like,
already.
sure, it's like you're a grown up, you're not 18 or you're not in your teens anymore, but 22 is still such a young age
It kind
to
of
have
feels like
so
it, yeah.
much figured out. And obviously, yeah, life is always about learning and growing day by day, and you never have anything right.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I could relate to you, like so spot on, because I felt like when I was in school, I felt like I had more time to do with like in a whole lifespan. More so, okay, like I still have to graduate, so I still got time to, like, oh, get a house or get, my desire, like get my career job or get settled and stuff like that. But right as soon as you graduate, right after that, that feeling of now there's no time, that instant like rush that you're almost like, okay, no, I now I have no excuses. Now I'm in that real life. Like I gotta get my stuff together.
Yeah.
I feel like more pressure now than I was in school to kind of get stuff done. Like,
Bro, that's how it works, right? My mom had the same thing with me,
Yeah.
the way your mom did with you when she sat you down and had the talk. My mom had the same talk with me, and I told her, Mom, I can be a mother. It was more about career.
I can't relate.
No, it's not lame.
I know.
Can't relate.
Party poopers.
My bad.
Party poopers. But no, it's different for me because I'm the first generation. Like, not even first. Like, I am the only person in my family, and I mean, like, in my bloodline, to be in North America. Like, most of my
Wow.
family is, some of it is in Pakistan, but then at different places. So I was the only one who chose to do the complete opposite of where my family was based out of. When I came here, I did my master's and everything. One thing that I think we didn't talk about yet was the problems that you have to go through if you're first generation, and you have to go through your visa issues. Bro, I can't tell you enough. Like, the light at the end of the tunnel is email from USCIS asking for extension.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you know what
that's
I'm
something
saying?
we hear so
Like,
much.
bro, every year, like, it's not like it's good that if you know you're at a place and you know you're there for good. That's different, and that's more about, okay, what you're gonna do, because you're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
But for people who are on a visa, it's different because they gotta figure out they're maintaining their status, they're not becoming illegal, and they're
Talk about that
Yeah,
rush.
dude. It's
Talk about that
crazy.
pressure.
I kid you not.
Even more, honestly. It's even more. I didn't think about that.
I got massive respect for, especially like these international students that come from overseas, because it's one thing like going to a graduate school or undergrad school is itself, it's a world of its own, but then you're doing it to a whole different world. It's away from
family, from
bro.
what you
People,
know.
I know these people, they put like 60 hours a week, bro, and on top of maintaining, because I guess you have to keep a certain amount of like hours in school too,
to
right?
maintain your status.
Yeah, so like you gotta
If
maintain.
you're in the school, if before you graduate, you have to maintain, like, you have to work. If you're working on campus 20 hours, outside of campus on OPT, it's 40 hours before you graduate. Not OPT, CPT, before you graduate. So you can work that, but still, it's stressful because you're like, I'm not only gonna focus on my studies. I don't have family. I gotta make sure that I'm
Cooking,
like working,
cleaning.
cooking, and everything that, and you're by yourself. So that's what makes it hard. If you're, I don't think, like, I respect people. I was not very active during my master's, working with these communities that we had at University of Tampa, because I was like, if you are active not only with your studies, but you're also working, like paying your bills, and you're also working with these societies for youth. I have massive respect for those people. Like, I was not very active. I should have been, but like it's hard. Like, if you are in that space, and then you're like, okay, I'm doing things for myself, and I'm also gonna do things for community.
Just the giving back factor, and
that's hard.
And see, the fact that you said that, I think I found in both cases, right? Especially like the ones that I found it more in like the international students, that when they come over here, they start out, it's a whole different life. They're totally independent. They, what you're talking about is on paper, those jobs, right? We can't disregard like the cash paying jobs that they can't really do. Like, hopefully no FBI or, like no immigration, ICE watching this, but there's obviously, you got to make your ends meet. Like,
yeah, obviously that happens. It's a reality that happens.
Out of state as well, right? They pay out of state, and they have to, I don't know if they get loans. They don't even get full loans, right?
The thing is, if you have good grades, then you can get a like in state tuition.
But you
still
get
like
scholarship.
16,000.
But that's scholarship.
Yeah, that's
it's
scholarship.
like it's not gonna be like, oh, we give you loan. No, you still have to pay for everything.
All that, I mean, the biggest question is it worth it though? Like, obviously being an American, like, okay, whatever job you get somewhere or another, you can navigate. Like, I know people in my company that have a marketing degree or a communications degree, but I'm in IT, right? So somewhere or another, they made it into IT. But that's also because they have that American passport, that degree, and they made it right away. So I'm saying, is it worth it? Is the demand in the job market easy enough to get you a job after graduation with that status?
I'll answer that question, but you work in IT, so how was Friday? Anyway.
It was bad. It was bad, bro. It was bad.
3,000 flights. They had to cancel out of DFW. 3,000.
That's why Apple always.
Going back to what you asked, if it's worth it, it depends on what your goals are.
Yeah.
If you just want to get a degree and you want to get the experience, and you think that you have an avenue, you have a channel, or you have a platform that you're going to use the skills that you developed during your school, then 100%, it's worth it. If you are just thinking that, oh, I'm going to put my $100,000 into my degree and maybe make it in a few months, maybe not.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think that's possible.
It depends on what you're looking for. No. Yeah, it's very subjective.
I think because in schools we're so occupied with, obviously, like, everybody, I'm sure, like, we all start working at a young age. That's just the American culture, right? Back home is different. Back home, you're like living on your parents' money, and you know your mama, your baba is like taking care of your bills, and like, you know, your pocket money is there too, just to hang out with friends.
You could get a daddy here.
I mean, I don't know if I want to go that route, but but that's true.
It's about paying the bills.
I mean, it's about, you gotta do what you gotta do to get paid, right? But it's here because you have to keep up with your life. You have to, you know, get your job, get your bills paid. You have to keep up your grades as well, because, like I said, after the graduation, your jobs are looking at, you know, your first job at least is looking at your GPA. You know, you're trying to make it out. We tend to lose the almost the enthusiasm to kind of be part of a collective community. I feel like we become very self-centered after graduation.
I mean, it's kind of a need rather than no one wants to. Everyone still misses and enjoys the time they spent in college or those age groups of being younger and spending time with friends and stuff. But I feel like the older you get, you naturally just either because of yourself, you just become more, I have to do this, I want to do this, I need to do this, rather than like, that was my past, I'm not that anymore, I'm becoming this, you know, like life changes, situations changes, circumstances change.
And I'll even say maybe like school sometimes isn't even for everybody, because I'm looking at that like I said, I'm not graduated yet, and I'm just kind of like, it helped me with the line of work that I do now, but I'm just like, maybe I could have spent more time doing what I'm doing right now, because what I'm doing right now is interpreting for people. I've been doing that since I was probably out of the womb, you know, so it's kind of like, it helped me because what I study is linguistics, and that kind of helped me. But like I didn't know what I was doing, because my parents were just, oh, as long as you're studying.
You see, along those lines, when I moved to Dallas, I didn't have a lot of opportunities in my school to do things for the society or youth and other people, and that's when I joined Panach, and I think Panach was wonderful. It still is wonderful, good people, amazing people. Why? Because now the gap that I felt during school, that I should be doing something for the people, for the society. And maybe I had opportunities, but I couldn't do it for XYZ reasons, either time or dedication, motivation, inspiration, different things. But with Panach, I think I have the platform to fill that gap that I couldn't at that time. And that's, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, no, I think that was one of the biggest things when starting the organization out, because in school, you know, there's all these programs, these sororities, these fraternities, these youth organizations, these PSAs, MSAs, and all we've talked about, right? They're all there. But the problem is, all of these organizations, especially the the youth organizations, student organizations, they stay up till your student journey. Once you are not a student no more, you're done. Like, now what avenues do you even have to, if you do want to take those, to, you know, give back to the community, to stay active as an active contributor towards the society, to now maybe help others, you know, in their growth, in their journey that are coming in.
There's no alumni status here.
No, there isn't. You keep going.
A member.
But we should have one. I mean, we should have one.
And then alumni.
Well, I guess the
Alumni.
goal is you're always a part of the organization. I mean, regardless if you're active or not, right? I mean,
Yeah.
personally speaking, I had known about Panache for a while, but I had not been involved in it until
Yeah.
more so recently. You know, I think I
Same
love
here.
how the organization's always been involved. Like
Mhm.
I've known people within it for years, but there was just nothing of my, you know, need to be so active.
Yeah.
And obviously, life and things
It's
happen.
Speaking of like activeness, like me, how we started off with feeling whenever we were in school, like, oh, I need to be part of like this youth organization or this youth society or whatever. With Panache specifically, for me, whenever I came in, it was like, you know, I want to do it. Not that, oh, I feel like I have to do it. It's like something in me that wanted to like give back to the community in a way. And I saw that, especially here, because of like how we do things very differently. And then, you know, me and my time here in Panache, like I've seen so much growth, not just from like other people, myself as well, that I'm just like, I'm not the same person that I was. Like when did I come in? Like I was like 20 years oldish, 23, now you're gonna know my age. But but yeah, I honestly think that helped me. Whereas like before I felt like it was something, oh, I need to do it. This is something I actually wanted to do it. And with that, I actually even helped outside of Panache. Like in my own community, I even ended up being on the board in the community. Ended up being in the board of community. And like right now we're working on so many things of like helping the community with like, because we live in a pretty rough spot where I live at. And we're fixing it up with putting cameras and lights. And before I was on here, I was afraid of that, honestly. Like this sort of thing really empowered me to take that step and actually help beyond.
One thing that you said, that I feel like when we're in our like school student life, we feel almost like the need to do things, maybe because we got to keep up with our fellow peers. And you know, there's just the whole energy around, oh, let's go here, let's go there. And then we all know like schools here, I remember at UTD we required about 100 volunteer hours. You know, or you need like recommendation letters, you need some sort of like extracurricular activities to kind of make it stand out on your resume. That's the element of where we feel like we need to that time. After you graduate is where it matters the most, because now you don't have a need for all
Now
that.
you don't have to.
Now
it's
you
because
don't have
want
to.
to.
It's
You
your
don't
choice.
have to. It's your choice. And it is a choice. Unlike
it
other
is a
things.
choice. And if you're doing that after, where it's now become your choice, I feel like you do it more wholeheartedly. That's one of the things to it, that you're doing more wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it is.
And I think you actually have more of the means to do it as well. And I think because you're older, people actually take you a bit more serious.
Yeah.
Whenever you're like, oh, I want to do this, people will take you more serious. Because like I said, back in like my community, I remember going to like meetings because I think I was like 13 or so, 14 years old. And I stood up to say something and people were just like, well, why is this kid talking? And nobody took it serious. But I was being serious because I think it was like they were fighting about how the kids, they play, because it's a private neighborhood, but it's like, again, not the best, but they were complaining about some kids playing soccer on the street. And they were like, oh, it's because they're like hitting this and they're doing that. And I was like, well, would you guys rather have them doing that or have them going around stealing stuff in the neighborhood or doing drugs? Because that's the reality. That still kind of happens now. That's what we're trying to like fight. And I told them that, like, well, where do you want them to go? Because you can't send them anywhere else, because there's another part that they could, but the ball can get away. And I'm like, you want them to go into because there's like a creek essentially. And I'm like, what do y'all want them to do? And they didn't take it seriously. So then I slowly started making my way into there. And then obviously, I don't know, just grew out of me that I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. And once I was able to be in that position, people actually took me serious. They just said, oh yeah, instead of saying like, oh, mija, it's because this, it's like, you're too young, you don't know. They're like, oh, listen to her, because she's serious.
Another thing is that like when you're active outside, like after your graduation, I know we've talked about this so much before too. It's more difficult making friends after you're done with your schools and your colleges and whatnot, and especially making good friends, right? It's people are almost looking for opportunities to kind of do these social events. Like we've seen so many like now these morning runs that are coming. These youth running clubs, these volleyballs. Have you gone running any of these?
No.
Not
in the
A
morning.
lot of single people be
Not
like
in the
really
morning.
taking them 6 a.m. morning, joining morning running clubs and stuff, bro.
Evening? No.
But this, like, I feel like I'm seeing now, especially in Dallas, we're seeing so much more of people wanting to be a part of like these like sports clubs. Like there's volleyballs that go on like on a weekly basis. There's pickleball picked up.
That's
Pickleball,
crazy.
yeah.
Same.
I hear people talking about it all the
Same,
time.
like,
The
that's
pickleball.
new thing, yeah.
I play competitive pickleball, by the way,
Really?
and it's amazing. You guys should come.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's fun.
What is it like though? Is it like?
You sure it's not cricket, bro? Like,
Dude, it's not. That's racist, but I love it.
you sure you're not talking about
No,
cricket,
no,
bro?
okay, hear me out.
Like,
Dude, I don't want to get like we could get into it if people want, but okay, quickly. Tennis and table tennis, combine them together. That's pickleball.
you
That's
mean-
the easiest.
That's a hybrid.
It's a two-person. Or I mean, and you can play as two
Four.
people, or-
Yeah, you could play 4 people. You
Yeah,
could play
two.
teams, or you could play singles.
but that's the
is
thing,
fun.
right? There's like it became such a like hot trend that everybody, and you see mostly like people that are in the mid-20s, early 30s are taking more like part in these outside like activities and playing sports, and
More old
I think those should be encouraged. I think we should actually, there should be more opportunities like this. There should be, if you're not wanting to just, okay, everyone has their own thing, right? Not everybody's all about like giving back to the community or
Right.
devoting their time to like feed the homeless, or let's pick up the trash from our city and stuff, but be a part of it. But as long as you can live in that moment, right?
Yes.
Like as long as you're living that life after graduation,
Yeah.
and now not just like, oh, like what do I do?
As we
Yes,
had
I
talked
think
about,
so.
I mean, your passion is
Mhm.
something that you've had forever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, passion can also change, right?
Yeah.
Pickleball wasn't something that's been around since we were kids,
No,
right? It just
no.
came
Was
No.
kids, right?
It's like what,
No,
2
until
years?
3 years
Yeah,
ago, yeah.
2-3
the
years.
hype and freaking like the want to like play it or hear about it, do it is like everywhere now, and it's like things change, and
Big time.
Dude, we should have a pickleball event for Panaj.
I mean, we have,
Maybe.
we have
Dude,
a
let's
sort
do
of
it.
event
It's
actually,
gotta-
so
it's
that
gotta-
would be fun.
Yes,
There-
join us.
Just gotta teach me how to do it though,
It's just like,
To organize events?
No, to play pickleball.
Dude, I'm not asking you to play it. I'm asking
Oh.
you to organize it.
Like,
Like,
oh wow.
You're too old for that.
You're older than me, bro. What you mean? Like you're 2 years older than me, bro.
Fine. Okay, defensive.
I see that white, hair coming out that beard. Just there, bro.
I'll see you in court.
But I think the overall message out here is it's important to be a part of an active community. It's important to be active in the community as well. Those are two different things, but two important things. And life after graduation, if you haven't graduated yet, it's whatever you're thinking life is gonna be is not gonna be that you can hear from us. Is that it could be better or worse.
Straight up and down. Yeah.
Thank you all for joining, and this was amazing. If you liked us, if you like the things that we talked about and you would like to hear more from us, like, share, comment, let us know what you would like us to talk about.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you have ideas, then we should talk about that. I mean, we have a lot of shit to talk about. We can-
And definitely join Panache. We're-
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
That's the main thing.
This is like a little
Be
piece of it.
active.
This
Don't just do
more.
it. Be active.
Yes.
All right,
Thank
we'll
you
see
guys
all
so
later.
much. Bye bye.